Check, check. Well, we're on the screen.
Yes, I see that much. Hello, everyone.
Peas and carrots.
This is the wrong stream for me to have "Ain't That the Kick in the Head" stuck in my that was Trinity. I had one time we were having a battle and I decided I was just gonna play like Anderson sisters or Andrews sisters and Frank Sinatra, and it was like really kind of like in my earphones, obviously copyright, but it was pretty baller. It gave it a certain ambiance. We're definitely on screen. I don't. Well, let's ask chat. Who can you hear? Can you hear us?
Is there anybody?
Hey, can you hear me now? Look at that. I believe I should now have a audio. I don't know what happened, so I'm real sorry about that. But I think the gremlins have been slain. Hopefully.
We do have a yep in the chat, so hopefully.
Excellent. Sorry for the gremlins. Welcome to Dystopia Rising Evolution Main Connection Session 3. For some reason, OBS forgot where my mic was, apparently. But I seem to have reacquainted the two, which is good. So we can kind of dive into the magic of the night. Before we dive in too far, though, there are a couple of things I would like to make sure that I share with the assembled. First off, we do still have the OGL sale going on over at Indie Press Revolution. That is 50% off of several of our traditionally printed books, including first edition Pugmire, Scarred Lands, Legend Lore, and a couple of Chronicles of Darkness books. I believe Contagion Chronicle, or no, not Contagion Chronicle, I apologize. Dark Airs 2 and Changeling the Lost are included in that sale. So head over there for some 50% off traditionally printed materials. Also want to remind everyone that the last Friday of every month is Onyx Path Game Night over at Start Playing Games. I got a little bit of information at a link right there I've thrown in the chat, and you can always get more info over at our Discord this month. Every month we encourage people to run any of our games, but we are especially hoping to focus our attention over at the Trinity Continuum. And part of the reason for that is because our next crowdfunding campaign is going to be the Trinity Continuum Player's Guide over on BackerKit. And if you head over right now, you can actually sign up to be notified when it goes live, so you can hop right in right away and back that crowdfunding campaign. Excellent. I believe that pays all the bills. So, before we dive too far into our story tonight, I want to go ahead and have everyone introduce themselves. Tell us who you are, what you do, who you're playing, your pronouns, their pronouns, and anything you would care to promote. We'll start things off this time with CJ, and once we get done with intros, we're going to do tweaks before we dive into the action. So, CJ, please give us your pertinent details.
Hi everyone, I'm CJ Starry. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm playing Hayden Horn, whose pronouns are also they, them. You can find me everywhere on CJ Starry, and also, other than here on the Onyx Path, you can also see me play TTRPGs on Ink and Lyre, Lyre. So once again, super psyched for this episode. Can't wait to see what we get up to and what's happening with all those zombies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I almost forgot about the zombie horde that y'all are about to face. I did not almost forget
I didn't forget either.
about the zombie horde. All right. Next up, Leco, please, your pertinent details.
Hi, Leco Rodriguez. I'm definitely not El DeBarge as much as I would like to be, but shout out to the Rhythm of the Night. TeamLeco.com. Feel free to sign up for a free consultation where I will not sing Rhythm of the Night to you, but I will be tempted to while you tell me your frustrations and any problems you might have with weight loss and or fitness needs. I am playing Topher the Gopher of Green Gopher Dispatch and Delivery. And I would like to welcome you to the post-apocalyptic world where zombies roam and technology is scarce. But fear not, because when it comes to parcel delivery, Green Gopher Dispatch has got you covered. Our drivers are the bravest and most skilled in the land, dodging zombies and jumping over debris to ensure your package arrives safely and on time. And if by some chance your package doesn't arrive, we'll send our team of zombie fighting experts to retrieve it and bring it back to you in pristine condition. That's our glowing review guarantee. Trust us, we got a whole stack of them.
Beautiful. I love it. And I think it gets a little bit longer every time you do it. Am I correct in that?
Just wait till the
assessment?
final episode.
I literally can't wait. Also, I would like to point out that I've known Leco for several years, and I'm fairly certain you're mercenary enough that somebody could pay you enough to sing them Rhythm of the Night. should there
Let's see some donations in the chat and we'll find out.
In this economy, we're all that mercenary.
bits for the Rhythm of the Night. And on that bright and shiny, Haley, please, your pertinent details.
Hi everyone, I'm Haley, also known as Beyblade 666. Tonight I'm playing Darcy Dirtwater, and yeah, just excited to see everyone back. And I was really sick last session, so I didn't get to play, but excited to be here now. So
Well,
thanks for having me.
we are excited to have you here, and we
Yes.
have wonderful things in store for you. And speaking of wonderful things, Kevin, please, your pertinence.
Oh, hi everybody. I'm Kevin Zarnke, he, him. Voice actor, TTRPG designer, teacher, tutor, renegade, outsider, hermit in the woods outside of your house with wisdom that you won't listen to until it's too late. I'll be playing Rav, also he, him, the resident sniper heavy. He's a liquid cannibal who can't stand the sun. Call that whatever you want. It is what it is. I relate to him.
Excellent.
You can find me at Necromancy101 on Twitter, where apparently I'm picking up. Yeah, Shia, I see you.
He's about 30 feet back.
As long as
Gaining
you know
on you.
jiu-jitsu, you might have a shot. But yes, I'm finally getting a following on Twitter. Yippee, which means it's about to burn to the ground. Sell your stock today. But you can find me at Necromancy101. And aside from that, I'm just looking forward to today because I'm going to buy some psionics.
I look forward to your purchase of psionics. And I just would like to say before we move past it, because I just can't breeze past it, the gravelly voice you were doing reminded me, maybe it's just because I'm in a old man mood, but reminded me very much of the Max from MTV's Oddities. The Max, it felt like you were about a half octave away from "I'm tired of begging, Julie."
You know what? I am comfortable with that comparison. I'll take it.
So before we dive into the action, you do all have the opportunity to spend any accumulated XP you may have gained. Also, if need be, you may make any tweaks you would like to make. So if you would like to move a dot of one skill to another skill, you may do so. If you would like to move a dot from one attribute to another, you may do so. Just all that we would need to do is I would need to know what that is. I want you to mark it on your sheet so that way you're sure that you roll at this session, because that is the one prerequisite for making a tweak. So does anyone have any tweaks they want to make or any experience expenditures they would like to handle before we go live?
I'm buying a thing, an edge.
Hey.
Yes.
Excellent. So which edge are you purchasing?
I would like to purchase Tech Whiz for 6 XP right? 3 per point, right?
I believe that is accurate.
Is that right? Edge, yeah, three per point, and it's
Yeah.
a 2-point edge. So I would like to purchase Tech Whiz so that I can whiz all the techs.
Provided that you meet the prerequisites, you may do so.
I believe. Let's see. The prerequisites for Tech Whiz are Technology 2.
Excellent. I assume your technology is much higher than that, actually, correct?
It's 3.
Beautiful. That is,
So it's
that is in
higher
fact
enough.
higher than 2.
Yes.
Did CJ, did you have any tweaks or experience expenditures for Hayden?
I think I was really thinking about it, but I think today I'm all right. Gonna hold off and maybe build up those that I think I've got like 3 EXP right now, and I think I'm gonna save it and see what I can do with it later.
Beautiful.
I had to add a new short term as well.
Oh, what is your new short-term aspiration?
I would like to make the first drop. Damn it. That's my short term. I want to make the first of many deliveries that we have to make.
It's not impossible. That is
I do have to add another short as well, actually.
that is a good short-term aspiration. How do you have one in mind, or do you want me to circle back?
I'm gonna go for it. I last session I achieved take care of someone. So
Excellent.
this one I'm going to put in open up to someone.
Beautiful. I love it. I look forward
Aiden's
to
not happy about that, but I, the player, am.
I look forward to seeing the consequences of that short-term aspiration. Any tweaks or experience expenditures, Haley, for Darcy?
No, I think I'll keep it the same. I haven't really got to play her much, so let's keep it as is.
Excellent. And Kevin, how about for Rav? What do you got?
Well, I figure I can pop a point into psionics as an edge.
Okay.
So that's what's the exchange rate on that?
For the Scientist Edge?
Yeah.
So your edges will cost 3 points per dot, provided that you meet the prerequisites for them. Once you gain the Psionics Edge, you gain access to all of the core abilities that fall under Psionics.
Which I love in the system, that they just straight up give you a nice little toolbox of useful
Yes.
samplers.
Yes, you have ample things. And then you also will gain, if you bear with me for just a half a second while I look it up, your stress conditions may increase. Just double checking what that does for you. So, what is your resolve?
It is 3.
Excellent. You will gain an additional distraught condition.
That I know that's a good thing, but it sounds awful without context.
Man, I'm thinking about psionics now. I could use an additional distraught condition.
I also have updated my aspirations to understand how I changed to reflect the psionics and the exposure to the package. And second short term is show off murderous skills.
Excellent. I believe you'll have an opportunity to do both of those things. Now that all of the bookkeeping has been completed, we are going to focus in real quick on Darcy. Darcy, the last thing you remember is you were sitting in the back with the package. Everyone else had sort of left the vehicle after pulling into the tunnel to avoid the coming storm and sort of interact with the their intention was to interact with the settlement. The next thing you recall, I would like you to roll, let's say, an integrity, and then whatever attribute you would prefer to lean on with that.
Integrity resolve, okay?
Integrity resolve is great. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Mhm.
And your target number, as always, is 8.
Is tens 2?
10s reroll.
Oh, okay.
10s reroll? 10s reroll, I believe. Let me triple check that.
Yeah, they explode, right?
As far as I recall.
All right. So
Take
that's
one
2
roll bonus.
successes.
2 successes, you said?
Yep.
Excellent. The good news is you don't take any stress conditions. The bad news, however, is you are overwhelmed with, as you're kind of just sitting in the back with the cargo. Everything seems to be relatively calm, and then you suddenly feel this overwhelming presence enter your mind. You're kind of washed over with these images of a morgue. Morgues in Dystopia Rising Evolution are kind of these large fungal burial grounds built around a psi crystal where the dead are buried in the hopes that they will emerge as intact as possible from the grave mind. You see several flashes that are taking place inside such location. People in lab coats kind of gathered around. Some exchanges, but you can't quite make out the words between these folks in lab coats. You see them kind of circle up, and within that circle, kind of a glowing sphere begin to emerge, and that glowing sphere start to emanate a sound similar to a infant crying. And about that time, you feel as though your entire consciousness is kind of pulled out through your left nostril and then reinserted into your right. And as your awareness slaps back into place, you see one of the people that was in the lab coats, a woman, looks to be probably in her late 30s, maybe early 40s. Missing, not quite missing, but her right eye is sort of glazed over, like cataracted over, and there are several scars spiderwebbing that side of her face. And she seems to look from the glowing sphere directly at you and says, "What are you doing?"
What am I doing? What is that? Who are you?
I'll be asking the questions here. What are you doing? Why are you interacting with the package?
I'm just looking after it.
You were meant to be
That's all.
couriers. You're not meant to open that thing up.
Well, don't you want to make sure everything's intact?
Yes, when it arrives in Philadelphia as it's supposed to, when we're contacted by the personnel who are meant to be interacting with it. What are you doing? At about that time, you snap back into consciousness. You are laying across, if I'm not mistaken, you're laying across Hayden's lap in the cab of the truck as you are cresting the top of a hill right around dawn. Topher is currently jacking the wheel to the side. And as you sort of spring up and sit upright, you just see kind of a circle of Zed moving in toward the vehicle. You do not see Rev anywhere in the cabin of the vehicle at all. As for the rest of you, the rather large horde of undead seem to have now found their feet and are making their way toward the top of the hill where the car is currently whipping around. Why don't we go ahead and have everyone roll the skill they intend to lean on the most during this combat, along with the attribute of their choice, so we can get some initiative sorted out.
That'll be firearms for me and resolve.
Excellent.
Athletics and stamina for me.
Excellent.
Probably Dex and Pilot.
That works for me.
Dex and firearms.
Excellent. And please just record your number of successes in the Zoom chat.
The sound.
I think Hayden's like, Darcy, you're okay. Shit. And he's gonna reach for the walkie-talkie. We'll worry about getting her back there later, Rav. We've got Zed incoming. Keep it on lockdown back there.
Well,
Correct me if I'm wrong, but
that was some,
the back door is currently open, right? You had opened it to expose before you started kicking the package to try to make it psychically active, basically.
I didn't kick it.
Well, metaphorically kicking it. I don't think anyone actually kicked it.
It was I assume that there's like a bottom like thing, but there's like an open top above that.
Right, yeah. There's like if you'd imagine like a kind of like a pickup truck with like a topper on it. You know, you've got the top window that's open.
Yeah, I am Zed savvy enough not to leave it wide open, but I brought up the back part, but I left the window open so I could hear if something was coming. Then again, I didn't plan on having like, a psychic experience that puts me in brain space. So
Fair enough. So I believe there was something that Darcy wanted to say before the actual combat begins. What was that?
she tells me everything's okay, and she'll say, some heavy exposure, man. I don't know.
At that point, the roaring of these walkers as they start making their way towards the vehicle snaps you to attention, but clearly the first action is going to go to Rev. What would you like to do as this scale 5 horde of Zed starts moving toward you?
now, if I recall correctly, heavy machine gun with pintle mount on each side of the cab.
That is correct, yes. You do
Okay.
have a 180-degree arc of fire on either side of the vehicle if you hop into that position.
Is there a side that has more of them or all of them even?
They seem to be remarkably well distributed around the outside of the vehicle.
Super for them. Well, see, this is where all my work and being stealthy is useless. Okay, so I guess hit the squawk box really quick for Toph and be like, time to go. Pick up a heavy machine gun and just start.
Excellent. That heavy machine gun of yours, if you give me just 2 shakes of a sheep's tail, that gives you a enhancement of 3. The horde that you're firing at is scale of 5, so you will need to overcome. You'll need to get 13 successes in order to deal significant damage to the horde.
Let's see what I can do.
Do we have momentum right now?
There is 4 momentum in the pool, yes.
Very
Not-
good.
May I?
We're gonna get this party started.
With everyone's permission, I will throw some momentum at that. Okay, let's see. That's a 1. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and now I re-roll 4 of them.
You're dropping all 4 momentum and not a
No,
bad-
those were 10s.
Oh, excellent. Excellent.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're at 9, 10, another re-roll, and I'm putting 2 momentum for 2 re-rolls into whatever. So
Beautiful.
Sounds lovely.
that's 11. Here we go. 12, and it's a 10. Holy fucking shit, 13.
Excellent. And does that count? That's just your raw successes from your roll. Is that correct?
Yes.
Excellent. So you have +3 enhancement from the vehicular weapon, which is significant enough to deal 1 level of health to the horde.
Go off murderous skills.
Yeah, I would say that probably applies. You have an additional 2 successes, which can be used to purchase stunts. Unfortunately, that's not sufficient to buy the critical stunt, even with the machine gun. But you could do things such as, for example, complicate the horde's next action as you're spraying bullets around the outside of the vehicle.
Could I focus fire to assist Toph with a drive check?
Absolutely. Yeah, you can absolutely use that as like the help action effectively to try to
Okay, great.
clear a path for your associate.
Thanks for the momentum, crew.
Excellent. Yeah, and so you have 2 momentum left in the pool, and that brings us to. And while you've done 1 level of health to the horde, that is not significant enough to reduce its scale. That brings us to Topher. What would you like to do?
Well, I think knowing that so basically we feel the machine gun wheel a full 180 degrees, and I'm guessing it's stopping its motion ahead of us.
Right. Yeah, I would assume that you went back to front.
Right. So
Back into the left.
I will reach behind my seat and grab my helmet, and I will throw it on.
Excellent.
And I will say, hold on to your dancers. It's going to get bumpy. And then I am going to...
I'll grab my boobs.
And I am going to...
You now have 3 momentum in the pool.
I'm going to be distracted for a moment. And then I'm going to floor it.
So you're going to try to ram this horde.
Well, I'm going to try to break out of the circle so as to if the machine gun is plowing forward, the plow will also plow forward. So there's going to be like multiple plowing going on.
Right on.
Grab boobs for inspiration.
I will-
Spend momentum on plowing.
It's becoming
Here we
a
go.
very different game than I anticipated.
Hey, this isn't my RFS stream. All right, so
Hey, it ain't fatal. You know.
whilst all of that activity is taking place, I'm just looking up. Do you happen to have the scale of your vehicle written down, or the tier of your vehicle?
Well, you never gave me the stats on it on the truck, but I'm imagining so based on what I remember about the truck, it sounded like where's the
So I believe 141 is where you would
Yeah,
find what you're
Give
looking
me just
for.
a second. I should have written it all down, but
If I'm
All
not
right.
mistaken, it was a war rig.
yeah, war rig. There we go. So it is a tier 5 weapon, tier 5 vehicle. I don't know what that means, but it's angry.
So that means that you will be operating at the same scale as the horde.
All right, cool.
So you would just make a piloting roll against the defense of the horde. You will have 2 enhancement from your buddy helping you, but otherwise it's just a straight pilot check.
Okay, and for we said you have 2 momentum left. I'm not gonna bother road raging. I'm just gonna go ahead and,
Okay.
hold on. I have to channel my inspiration here. So give me just a second. All right, let's do it. All right. 2 enhancement, right? That's what you said?
That's correct, yes.
Right.
Love
So
it.
that is a total of 7 successes.
Apologies to Eld the Barge. All right. Does that include your enhancement?
Yeah, I will rhythm of the zombie bumps all up and down my bumpers.
Okay, but that's 7 with your enhancement included, correct?
Oh, that's then 9. Yeah.
9. Excellent. So the bright side is that you did enough to hit them and reduce the health by 1. You may spend an additional
Are there drive stunts?
specifically no.
Roadie stunts?
Not aside from like your road rage. Is there something in particular you wanted to pull off? Because I can assign a stunt value to it if you'd like.
Well, so I was
Otherwise, you'd be looking at critical stunts.
well, criticals might work because what I'm going for is kind of like, because the terrain, we're on a hill top, right? And they're
Yes.
coming at us from down the hill. So I kind of want to, do like an ice cream scoop them a bit so that they're just kind of flying over the I don't want to get them stuck in the treads because there's no wheels, it's treads.
Right.
So I'm trying to scatter as many of them as possible. Whether that is with like a push stunt or because I don't care if they die necessarily. Like we're not going to kill this horde. We just kind of have to outpace them as far as I'm concerned.
Sure.
So
Absolutely. So
I would like to use those stunts to create distance, if I may.
Sure. So you can definitely push them. That's going to be, I believe, 2 to push the ones that are at least in an effective range.
Okay.
You can push.
Does this fall under like the melee stunts? Is that kind of what we're using as a baseline?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this would effectively be actually a knockdown. So you'd be looking at a total of 4 hits to do that. Four your successes to kind of clear the path that's in front of you.
So if I have 9, I can spend 4 on knocking them out of the way. I get the 1 free damage, right? And then can I spend the other 4 on a critical? And
Yes. So that would deal 2 levels of damage. So what you would effectively do at that point is knock down the ones that were in the front of you and deal enough damage to reduce the size of the horde by 1.
Then I would like to do all of that, and the whole time I am humming.
Excellent. Are you humming the rhythm of the night?
I'll leave that up to interpretation. I don't know if Rhythm of the Night makes it to Dystopia Rising. It's more like a mix between Rhythm of the Night and Dashing Through the Snow. So
Lovely. The horde is now a scale 4 horde that is at full health. And that will bring us around to Hayden. What would you like to do?
Lose my shit because I just managed to merge those 2 songs in my brain.
it actually works out surprisingly well.
Dashing through the Zed. The dump truck built for war.
Unbelievable. Thank you. All right. Now, realistically speaking, I think Hayden's going to be like, okay, all right, hold on, and try to like help maneuver Darcy so that the 3 of them are sitting like so that they're not all over each other because Darcy was laying across their laps while they were driving.
Okay.
And then she sat up. So I was going to try to move her to like the middle
Okay.
and get out toward the window is, I guess, what I would consider my movement for the turn. Outside of that, just gonna probably roll down the window and take aim. I don't know if I can do all of those things in one turn or not.
In fact, you
So.
can. I will let you move Darcy and fire out the window. You will just add a complication of 2 to your firearms roll, which, if goes unresolved, will result in some sort of discomfort that you will be inflicting on yourself and or Darcy. I will leave it up to the 2 of you to sort out what that discomfort is.
Okay, as long as it's not a bullet, I'll take that.
Yeah, it won't be an injury or pain, but like, landing on a gear shifter or winding up with like a leg on a dashboard, whatever you all feel is appropriate.
You
far
get
be it
some
from
of
me.
my slimy face skin on you.
Right, like right, just kind of like sloughs off into your lap a little bit. Yeah, one of those.
You swallow a little bit, yeah.
Depends
You're
on
gonna
how
eat
much
that?
I don't resolve. Let's do some rolls and see where we get.
Oh, sorry about that.
All I see is bacon.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Let me do that firearms roll. And I think it would probably be realistically. Well, I think I'm going to use intellect because what Hayden's aim is to remove what, because obviously it's a bolt gun, so I'm only going to take one out. I'm going to try to remove the one that is most in the way or most of a threat at this exact moment.
Sure. I mean, from narrative perspective, when you're fighting a horde, if you have a weapon that like only affects one of them, if you were to roll well enough to do enough damage to significantly affect the horde, that would result in something like you shot one of them in the legs and they roll down the hill like a bowling ball and take out several more. So it's not
Perfect.
impossible, right? They're grouped up zombies, so
Okay.
it is not impossible that you would damage the horde. It's going to be difficult. You're going to have your difficulty of this roll is 11.
I don't think I'm going to make it, but I will try.
Give it a shot.
One way or another, you're going to get some giblets on you.
Well, no, only if I don't resolve the 2 complications.
Right. You can absolutely fail the roll and still resolve that complication.
All right, we'll see what happens. All right. Do we have any 10s to speak of? Aha! We have 10s, folks. Okay. Those didn't come out with anything else. Oof. Okay. Yeah, that is 5. So.
Okay. That is not significant enough to deal any damage. However, you can resolve the complication. You do still have 3 hits that you can spend in other ways. So, for example, if you wanted to use that instead to do a pin down stunt, where if any of them advance on you, then they will take a level of damage. Or if you wanted to do a complicate stunt to make it harder for their next action, you could spend those 3 hits that way, while still like gently placing Darcy to the side so that her face doesn't fall off on your lap.
Very chivalrous and did not take off any of your face. It's still intact. You're welcome. Going to probably do a complication, something along the lines of maybe I managed to hit something that fells and they have to stumble over or something like that to get over to us. I think
Sure.
is-
You excuse me, you kick up some dirt that kind of makes it difficult for them to move forward, at least on that side. And that then will bring us around to Darcy. Now that you're sitting upright and have a beat on the situation, what would you like to do?
I'll just like look at my bow and be like, "You guys got guns?" Like,
There's a rifle under the seat.
oh, okay. She'll take that and she'll be like, "Scooch over to Hayden." Is there any kind of like environmental thing that I can do to like slow them down instead of just shooting one of them?
I mean, you can roll just for complicate. Like you can roll to just try to make their lives more difficult as you're laying down cover fire. If that's the aim you want to go for, that's fine. You won't have any additional difficulty to the roll. You'll just be buying stunts.
The
Okay.
rifle is +2 enhancement, by the way.
Okay.
So that would be a firearms and then whatever you would like to pair with that.
And Hayden's just
nothing in
low-key like
firearms.
pressing themselves against the seat, like making as much room as I can.
Yeah, she's not even considerate about it. Just like pushing you to the side. Yeah, so I got dexterity, I suppose.
All right. Give me a firearms plus dexterity roll, please.
It's not gonna be as good as everyone else's roll. Holy
Well, that's-
moly.
Mine was
all right.
not that good. Is it
Oh, 2 successes.
inappropriate to make a joke about this is probably the most action Hayden's gotten in a while?
Oh, no, perfectly acceptable. Would you like to spend any momentum to re-roll any of those failed dice? You have 3 in the pool currently.
Oh, did we get one from
2 out of 3 is pretty good, I think.
All right. What were you asking me?
Oh, did we get a momentum from Hayden's failed roll?
No, because that roll still yielded a positive result.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You have to like fail. Like I didn't get any hits.
Understood.
Don't get if you
Prize for
don't ask.
unmitigated suck.
Right. Yeah. That's your consolation for like, oops. So I'm sorry. One more time. What was your total for
2
Darcy?
successes.
Plus the 2 enhancements, so that's 4. So you can add that to the complicate stunt that's already in play, which was 3, right? So effectively giving them a complication of 5 to their next action,
Yep, I'll do that.
which will come in handy because they're about to take that action. What else were you going to say? I'm sorry.
And she said that's the most action she's gotten. I'll give an
They,
eyebrow
but yeah.
raise. I'll look back and give an eyebrow raise and then give her space.
Well, and I don't know if they said that
I don't know.
out loud.
I don't know if Hayden said that out loud. I think I was just ripping on Hayden.
That's fair.
Is it a session if I don't make fun of my own character at least once?
I mean, that seems to have been.
Maybe she just kind of felt it telepathically.
It's like, wow,
Embracing on an ample bosom provide 1 point of recoil compensation, or am I thinking of a different thing?
If recoil was a problem, I would entertain it. But at the moment, recoil.
Well, that's
is
a
not
Shadowrun
concern.
thing. Okay.
Having said that, the horde advances there, dealing with a complication of 5 for the various sort of assaults going around. But they do have several enhancements on this roll, specifically +8. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4 +8's 12. As you're pulling along, the ones that are in front of you, clear out. And just so that I'm clear on this, you came up, so the road runs east to west. The hill goes north to south. Did you come up the north side of the hill or the south side of the hill, Topher?
That's a very good question. I wouldn't know which side the tunnel would have exited on, but that would have been the way.
It would have exited on the eastern end, the east facing end.
Right. So what I would have done is from east, we looped back, we doubled back. So
Right. Did you go right or left when you pulled out?
I would have
the
gone
tunnel?
left. And
All right,
then
so that would be north. So
Yes.
you're now going south. So the ones that are facing south, that are on the south side, are splattered, knocked down, not in your way anymore. A couple of them gib on your windshield. The ones that are to the east are also kind of have been riddled with bullets. The ones that are to the west and to the south, each sort of lunge and just start grabbing on, which results in a total of, let's check here. total of 3 scale worth of horde actually getting a grip on the vehicle. So they are now.
What's that in layman's terms?
In layman's terms, that's about 12 Zed hanging onto the side of the vehicle, side and the back of the vehicle. So there are about 8 of them pouring into the back and about 4 hanging onto the passenger side of the vehicle.
This is fine.
And that then brings us, so just let me make a quick adjustment that we are now realistically coping with a scale 3 horde. And that brings us back to the top of the order. So Rev, what would you like to do? You are still seated in the pop-out area, but you can clearly hear moaning and groaning coming in through the back window.
Well, I can't very well shoot back into the cab, so I guess I'm gonna scramble to the top if I can, and try to plink them from the hatch at the top, so it's harder for them to get to me, but I still have line of sight.
So you're gonna go up. So you don't
doable?
You don't have any like when the turret pops out, you're enclosed. So there's no up to go from the turret.
Can I climb out of the turret and go up the internal ladder, to the roof and shoot through the hatch?
The only way to get to the roof from inside is to go out the back window that is currently being filled with zombies.
Oh, I've been picturing this wrong. That's on me. Okay. I guess I'm gonna pull my gun and start shooting.
Excellent. Just sort of spray that back area with bullets.
Nothing else I can do, really.
I'll allow it. In fact, I'm only going to treat this part of the horde that you're facing as scale 2.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, scale 2, because of the way that the horde is divided up. So on the bright side, you have a much lower difficulty to hit them. Your difficulty to actually strike them at this point is going to be 8.
8. Super. Okay.
No, 7. I apologize.
7. Slightly more super. Okay. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7.
Excellent. That is precisely enough to deal 1. Well, what's the enhancement on your gun?
What a fabulous question that I should know.
What kind of gun are you carrying?
I have a hunting rifle and I have a bolt pistol.
I would assume you're probably using the hunting rifle.
If that's narratively feasible, yes.
That would be my guess. Based on that is what would make the most sense to grab right now. So that gives you an enhancement of 2. So you actually will have enough to deal 1 health level worth of damage and buy an additional stun. Now you can, you don't have enough to do a critical, unfortunately. But you could, for example, add a complication of 2 to the horde's action back there with a pin down.
Yeah, if there's any way I can be blasting them so that the lead ones are tumbling back into the ones behind them to slow them down, even maybe knock them out of the back of the cab, that would be old dandy pie for me.
Sure, absolutely. If they do not resolve the complication that you're imposing on them on their action, some will fall out of the back. But each level of complication that goes unresolved will treat as 1 health level lost by the horde. Okay. Topher, you look over and you can see various projectiles go out that passenger window, and you just kind of glance over and then just see 4 hands come into the passenger window. What would you like to do?
I will. So as we're coming down this hill, is there what's in the terrain? Is there debris? Is there trees? Are we talking?
Yeah,
coal?
there's you see like the broken and sort of like if you'd imagine someone had taken like a cow and like drug it behind a moving vehicle for about 60 or 70 yards. You see that sort of visual going on over in the corner. There's a couple of downed trees. You see what looks like it might have at one point been part of a silo. There's various detritus, like ripped off car doors and shit. Like a tornado just went through is kind of what it looks like.
Oh yeah, that's right. Tornadoes would be everywhere. All right. Well, I will eyeball the creepy hands creeping in through the creepy window. And say, hands off the merch. This cargo is not for you, and I'm going to attempt to rub them off on the nearest piece of large debris. So I'm going to barrel towards something that I probably have no business hitting, and then I'm going to swipe the passenger side.
All right, so you head for like the silo roof that's kind of on its side and try to just kind of scrape them off the side.
Yes.
Sure, I'll allow it.
I will go from, yes, we've changed our maneuver from plow to rub.
Rub off. Yeah.
Listen,
Plow to rubbing
I
off.
would like to just claim absolute innocence in every exchange that's occurred so far tonight.
As a brilliant Daytona driver once said, rubbing is racing. So
Well, I have good news and bad news. Which would you like?
I disagree.
Which would you like to hear first?
give me the great news.
The great news is you can absolutely do it. You clearly have a target, and you're pretty sure you can pull this off. The bad news, however, is I will not be giving you the benefit of the scale provided by the vehicle because that doesn't actually apply to what you're trying to do here.
Sure.
The other good news is that they're a smaller scale horde on that side. So your difficulty is only 7.
All right. And I was looking over all right, so yeah, we're just gonna go with the rub.
Excellent. Go ahead and give me that piloting roll, please.
I will gladly pilot. And I think since I can't use the scale, can I they're not considered passengers of another vehicle, so I can't really road rage them.
Can you read me road rage one more time?
Sure. We haven't encountered anyone in a car yet, so it's been kind of tricky. The character has an amazing knack for running vehicles off the road. When ramming another vehicle, spend one momentum to automatically hit the other vehicle in such a way that it is disabled, but no one in either vehicle is hurt. For an additional momentum, for a total of 2, the driver and passengers of the other vehicle are either battered or knocked unconscious. Storyteller's choice or story guide's choice.
I tell you
Can
what,
we consider these a raft of zombies?
I will absolutely allow you to, if you so choose, if you want to spend the momentum and just have that happen as your action, I will allow that. That will scrape the zombies off of that side.
But I want to I don't want to waste our momentum though. How much do we have?
You currently have 3 in the pool.
Doesn't sound like a waste to me.
Will it rub off all the ones on the passenger side?
You will remove the passenger side and effectively reduce the scale of the horde by 1, leaving only your friend in the back to contend with the scale 2 horde that's trying to make their way back there. Also with no assistance, but that's not going to change no matter what you do right now. So
I will spend 2
We'll have to
momentum.
take them from behind.
I just want to get them off, you know?
I will spend 2 momentum to get them off, and then
Have them squirting all over the windshield.
well, the windows are down, so somebody's catching a face full.
All over your face.
Yeah, in fact, why don't you go ahead and give me that piloting roll
I'm not
and
sure of any
and
of
see
this.
if you can overcome a complication of 3.
Okay.
Not excited
If
about
you
this.
fail to overcome this complication, there's going to be a burst that's going to make its way through the window and cause.
And who's closest to the window
So-
right now?
You'll be happy to know that I got exactly 3.
Excellent.
Thank you, Kel.
But I only want to use 2 on the competition.
It's enough to get him out of your lap.
And I'm gonna
You
use
listen here.
I'm gonna use the one to just kind of lower my helmet a bit. Off the side.
Why?
So most of them just get sort of scraped off with no issue, but the one that's like closest sort of reaches in and like grabs Hayden, like doesn't grab, but like does like this number to Hayden. And
Like Dawn of the Dead.
like as soon as you feel the finger like on your lip, you feel the whole hand kind of tense up, and then it just from about the elbow down lands in your lap as just a spray of gore comes inside the window, just kind of showering Hayden from like head to lap, pretty much, just in intestine and various rotten fluids.
Toph, I do not have unlimited clothes.
Like about a handful or so. Like if you would imagine kind of like a very well stuffed water balloon's worth sort of pops off the side of Topher's helmet. Not enough to obscure your vision, just enough to just be gross, and sort of backsplashes a bit onto Darcy, but not enough to again cause anyone any real obstruction. It's just kind of nasty and moist.
Gross.
And it also has presented Hayden with somewhat of a weapon of opportunity. So what would you, as it is their turn, what would Hayden like to do as this open hand lands in their lap?
Going to pass the weapon of opportunity off. I'm gonna go here. Let me give you a hand and give it to Darcy.
It's suitable for a hand job.
And now you have 3 momentum in the pool.
I'll take the hand and then put down all the fingers except the middle.
Cute. And Hayden is saying this while they try to maneuver themselves up onto the top of the cab.
Excellent. Go ahead and give me an athletics check. I'm going to give you a complication of, we'll say 2, as the vehicle is rapidly moving, and probably like there's
slippery.
Yeah, it's a little slick.
Probably a little slick. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's mostly slick, but there are also some very sticky bits.
Gross. Well, I'll use those to my advantage. Hopefully, let's see.
I don't know if anyone here is old enough to have seen The Man with Two Brains, but the scene where he's like licking his palms and sticking to the wall, it's just all I can think of.
God.
This game was made with pieces of an arcade machine.
Does 4 get me where I want to go?
It absolutely does. You shimmy out the side, place your hands in a remarkably small amount of the various ichor that's on the side of the vehicle and get up onto the roof. As you can clearly see, like from your vantage point, you can see not only are there Zed crawling into the back window, but it looks like they've kind of turned themselves into something of like a undead ladder or zombie centipede, if you will, that's kind of crawling up itself to get into that back area. There's about 8 of them
style
back there. Yeah, it's pretty disconcerting.
Back to our cordyceps roots. All right, let's do that. I think that's probably all I can do in my turn. But next turn, I'm gonna try to get a little closer.
That's fair. So you are on the top of the vehicle, doing your best Michael J. Fox impression as it continues zipping
I'm
through
gonna
this
try and get a good
field.
handhold so that I don't get knocked off.
That is
before next time.
advisable. That is advisable. What would Darcy like to do in this situation? Hayden is now outside of the vehicle. They have gotten onto the roof. Topher is driving along. Topher, are you making any correction toward the road, or are you continuing to sort of just barrel through the field?
I will. So, which way is the way we're supposed to be going?
The road will take you Like you can get back onto the road that'll take you theoretically towards
Then
Philadelphia.
yes, I will begin veering toward the road
Excellent.
after I've done my scraping.
Excellent. So, what would Darcy like to do in this situation?
She'd probably follow Hayden out.
Excellent. Go ahead and give me that athletics check with whatever attribute you feel is most pertinent.
Is it something I said?
Well, she just, I don't know. It's probably where all the action is. Ooh.
And it is also a complication of 2.
Does
Party in the back.
defensive maneuvering help?
Defensive maneuvering edge.
It's a skill trick.
Oh, let me look that up. What skill is it under?
I think athletics.
And all the action is in fact right there at your feet, in case you're wondering.
Can you
At
read
our
me
feet
that
would
skill
be
trick
good.
real quick?
Defensive maneuvering.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, I found it. You can spend momentum for it, but that won't actually help you with getting on the roof. That'll just help you if you need to make a if you need to buy any defensive stunts this turn.
Oh, okay. Well, I got 3 successes without it.
All right, that is enough to get you up on the roof. So now the 2 of you are up on the roof together. You both see this sort of zombie horde climbing in the back. And that brings us to the horde. So the horde is going to try to press forth. They do need to overcome 5 complication to successfully attack, but they have an enhancement of 6. So, no, of 4. Miraculously, they do not succeed at all.
Nice.
They, in fact, have rolled a critical failure. So that will reduce the scale of the horde to 1, effectively making it no longer a horde. Now you're just contending with 4 individual zombies. As several of them, as they're sort of moving forward, like Rav just kind of picks a couple of them off, which knock a few more off. And there are just 4 that manage to make their way kind of like half into the back. So from the waist up, they're in the back of the truck. From the waist down, they're kind of still hanging out of the back. And that will bring us back around to the top. To Rav, what you got?
Just keep on shooting.
Excellent.
I've got a good thing going here.
You're now effectively dealing with them one-on-one. Their defense is a 3. So you effectively have difficulty of 3 to hit them.
Okay. Is there a way to go for multiple targets, or is this still like a...
You can basically divide up successes between targets.
I like that. Okay. Like a proper vampire, I am humming. All I ever wanted, all I ever needed was an automatic rifle or shotgun.
Nice.
Okay. I got a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. So that's if you want to actually hit any of them, that's really only going to buy you 1. It will buy you 1 damage, and then that's aside from complicating that Zed's next action. That's pretty much what you got in terms of stunts.
Yeah, I mean,
Unfortunately.
if the weapons enhancement, I mean, if there's
Oh,
anything.
what's the weapons enhancement? It's a 2?
2.
So that actually would be enough that you could go for a full pin down, which would effectively give them a complication of 3 on their next action.
Okay. Noting that there are eyes upon me and wanting to show that off because my character's all about proving himself. Innocuous is something I'm trying to overcome, not use. I am going to aim for full body mass of 1 and use that to knock it back so that it knocks another one behind it straight up out of the back cab.
Excellent. So the way I'll rule that then is it'll effectively you're injuring one and inflicting a complication on the next one in line.
That
Makes
works
sense?
for me.
So if they don't
Yeah.
resolve that complication, they'll fall off the vehicle. All right. That brings us back to Topher. What would you like to do?
Well, now that I'm alone in the cab, I will take a moment to, I'll take my helmet off and kind of slough it out the window to get the goop off.
Excellent.
And then I will reach a hand underneath the passenger seat. And while keeping my steering hand on the wheel, I will extract a sandwich, which I will begin chewing on.
Excellent. We just had a camera failure on Darcy, but we will get back to her as soon as she's able to return to us.
So is that your hand or the severed hand?
Yes.
Okay.
Give me 2 seconds to do a little bit of camera surgery here because I'm assuming that's going to take a moment.
Commercial break for some Ladytron.
Yeah, exactly. Bear with us
This music break is brought to you by DeBarge.
over the course of our addressing our digital dust.
I just took the moment to stuff chocolate in my face, but I put way too much in.
I got a plate of street tacos eyeballing me.
I'm so jealous.
I've heard worse
Yes.
plans.
My wife is Venezuelan and an amazing cook. I am tremendously blessed.
You are, in fact, tremendously blessed.
One out of a million ways.
I feel like this is a great time for a commercial break. Attention, all survivors. Are you tired of risking your life to retrieve your packages from the post-apocalyptic wasteland? Say hello to Green Gopher Dispatch and Delivery.
Brought to you by Rav's Street Tacos.
Brought to you by Rav Street Tacos and the Rhythm of the Night. Don't settle
I don't know.
for delivery.
Rav's street tacos concerns me.
Hey,
Specifically
reduce,
because they're Rav's.
reduce, reuse, recycle. If you don't ask who they came from, you'll never find another flavor. Suited to every personality.
I know you said who.
Yeah, that's the issue. That's the issue right there. What can we get the rest of that pitch, Tove? But like,
Remember, zombie-proof packaging is free with every scheduled delivery of 50 pp or more.
great.
On that bright shiny, let's roll forward in the initiative order, which brings us at the moment then to Hayden. What would you like to do as you are on the roof?
I am guessing from the roof of the cab, I don't have a direct line to the remaining zombies trying to get in the back.
You probably can get, if you're talking about with a ranged weapon, you can probably get the two that are in, like, so if you imagine it's kind of like 2 and 2. So you can probably get the two that are furthest back. You probably can't get the two that are, well, no, I apologize. Let me correct myself. All 4 of them did get halfway in. So you can clear, like, you'll be able to make an athletics check to get back to where you can get a line of fire. It's just
That's
you're gonna
what
have
I'm
to
gonna
split. You can also fire as well. You're just gonna need to split successes between the two. Or more realistically, actually, what I'll do is I'll give you a complication of 2. If you don't resolve that complication, you're going to fall off of a moving vehicle. So I would highly recommend resolving that complication.
Yeah, we're gonna start there. So athletics. And
You said the
let's
upper
do-
halves, right? So like their butts and their little dangly bits are hanging out the back window.
That is correct. Though, I didn't mention anyone's dangly bits. Just throw that out there for the record. Once again, for posterity.
Well, you know.
we're just making it progressively worse. Let's see. Okay. All right. That's respectable. Ooh, there's a 10.
We can't assume that all zombies work. Right?
That is absolutely true.
Okay. How do I do with 5 successes total? I did resolve the complication at least.
That is enough to resolve the complication and inflict 1 injury to one of the Zed.
All right. So yeah, Hayden, having gotten that hold on the cab last go around, kind of yeets themselves onto the back, gets as close as they can, and just leans over and tries to pick one of them off with the bolt. the bolt gun.
Excellent. And because I'm nothing if not a benevolent deity, would you prefer to target the one who's already been injured or one of the uninjured so far?
That's a great question. Let's just do the injured one, try and take down the numbers.
Excellent. They're now at 2 health. And Darcy, welcome back. You returned just in time for your action. So you basically saw Hayden lunge forward and let go with the bolt gun. They basically got to the back lip of the vehicle and just fired downward. You can't quite see the Zed from where you're standing on the roof. What would you like to do?
I'll kind of peer over and see if I can antagonize some of them to follow me instead of going through the window.
Okay, so you want to try to like draw their attention to you?
Yeah.
How would you like to go about that? What would you like to rely on in order to do that?
I have presence and I have persuasion, I guess.
Sure. I'm going to give you it's going to be difficulty 1 roll, but it's going to be a complication of 4 because these are mindless creatures. So if you fail to resolve that complication, we'll say that rather than drawing the attention of those creatures, you will draw the attention of something else as you're making a bunch of noise up on that roof.
Oh, interesting. I like it. Roll. Got 2 successes.
Excellent. Would you like to use any of the remaining 3 momentum in the pool to try to reroll any of those failed dice?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, you can spend up to 3. I don't think anybody has any objection to that, right?
Nope. Let's not attract attention to bigger things.
Go. So just 3 dice?
Yep, just roll 3 dice that are at standard target number.
6s are a fail, right? Yeah.
Correct, yeah. You're looking for 8s or better.
Nope.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Excellent. You start like hooting and hollering and trying to get the attention of the Zed. They do not seem remotely interested in what you are doing. However, as the vehicle zips past what looks like a Jeep that has been turned upside down, the Jeep flips up in the way of the truck. If I could please get a piloting check from our pilot at a complication of 4.
Are we fighting a transformer?
As this Jeep has suddenly been flung directly in your path.
Oh my. Yeah, let's go ahead and not deal directly with that to the face.
RC upset friggin' Optimus Prime.
Autobots, roll out.
Reanimate.
I got exactly 4. Is that enough?
Excellent. You pretty much split this Jeep as it flies in front of you, dealing no damage to the vehicle. However, as you split the Jeep, you see 4 very large, hairy tubes sort of just move past the windshield. Darcy and Hayden, you have a much clearer view of what has emerged from this previously upside down Jeep, which appears to be a massive, immense, glowing, mutated, sort of tumorous spider creature that's large enough to basically cover the entire top of the vehicle.
I'll take the Autobot, thanks.
I thought it was tentacles.
Fun.
I thought it was tentacles, and I've seen enough anime to know that's not what we want.
No,
Thought it was like a dune worm.
no tentacles, no sandworms. Giant rad spider has leapt onto the top of the vehicle, and that brings us around to are antagonists. So the Zed are going to try to move forward. Each of them is going to make an individual attack roll. The second one has to overcome a complication of 3, if I'm remembering correctly. Is that right, Raph?
Yes.
Excellent. The first one lunges forward, garnering 3 successes. Do you have any soft armor, Rav?
I have Cavalier.
Excellent. So that gives you a soft armor rating of... Where are we at?
I'm near the gear. If I can just find it.
It should be on 141-ish.
Oh, okay. I got to get a hard copy.
No, you're good. 142. You said Cavalier. Your
Yes, sir.
soft armor is 2. It lunges at you and kind of bites like the chest of your armor, but does not penetrate it. The second one is going to also lunge at you. Remarkably, makes it into the vehicle, but does not get a hold of you at all. And in fact, you kind of clock right away that as soon as it doesn't get its hands on you, its attention turns to the parcel. The other 2 make it into the back and start immediately shambling toward the package. On the roof,
A situation.
Set the roof on fire.
It's all fine.
you do have a situation. Fortunately for you, it's during the day, so this rad spider is a little bit less potent than it might be under normal circumstances.
Great.
A little dazed like me.
A little bit.
Like
Oh my god. That's
That
not
was
fair.
good. Oh my god.
Okay, so that's 6.
Either I don't like that or I love that.
Yeah.
What are your respective soft armors?
I don't love that. Let's see here.
I don't like that.
I have a reinforced vest.
Actually, excellent. So most of this attention is going to go to Darcy because Darcy was trying to get attention. Ask and ye shall receive.
All right.
What kind of armor did you say you were wearing?
Heavy jacket.
Excellent. So that's a soft armor rating of...
Welcome, Raiders. We are fighting a rad spider.
Excellent. So that's a total... Your defensive total is 3. Oh, hey, welcome, Raiders. Thank you all so much for being here.
Boy, did
So-
you pick a time.
You suffer 1 injury, Darcy. And the rad spider uses its crushing bite on you. It applies its extra successes to use the established grapple stunt to give you the grappled condition. You cannot use the gain control pin or takedown. Gain control pin, takedown, or throw stunts on the rad spider. Basically, your only chance is to break free. And you would need to get a number of successes equal to the number that it spent on establishing the grapple. So you need to get 3 successes to break out of this. So note that you are under the crushing bite effect. If you don't break out next turn, you'll be injected with the spider's venom. Hayden, you just kind of like get sort of hit like in the back by one of its legs, but not enough to damage you.
Okay. Cool.
Now that everyone's life is just a wee bit more complicated, Rev, what would you like to do?
Can I bring this machine gun to bear on the spider by any chance?
It doesn't have up and down arc of fire. It's just side to side. If you wanted to shoot the spider, you need to get out past the Zed, get up onto the roof. You do, however, see like the front legs dangling. Just kind of dangling out the back, like through the back window. You see a couple of giant spider legs.
Just pull up my rifle. I've got this array of Nerf guns next to me, and none of them look right. Just bolt another round. So much meat and nothing to eat.
Excellent.
Keep blasting.
Are you focusing on the Zed that are in the back?
I don't really have any other option. I'd love to take a shot at that spider.
You can let the Zed do what they're going to do and take a shot at the spider if you want to. Its legs are dangling in the way, so you can theoretically shoot it.
In the leg.
Sure.
Are the Zed are heading for the package though?
They seem to be, except for the one that's chewing on your chest at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that guy. I'm gonna see if I can roll high, and if I can knock out this zombie problem in a round, that's what I'd like to try to do.
All right, give me that firearms roll. On the bright side, each Zed's defense is only 3. So you got that going for you.
I am Dwight Schrute with a stake in my hand, looking at a bat and going one problem at a time. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 2 enhancement on the rifle.
Excellent. So I will let you do one of 2 things. You can either shoot one of them and pretty much take it out like that. You use the critical stunt. There goes the Zed, probably the one that's chewing on you.
Yeah.
Or you can do 1 health to 2 of the Zed.
Not again.
The one that's chewing on me is
you're
full
still
health. I mean,
no, the one
zombie
that's chewing at you is the one that is already taken 2 injuries. So if you
would another theoretically take it out,
you would need 2 injuries to take it out still.
Okay.
So if you just like unload into the one that's on your chest, like blow through its back, you would effectively have enough. You'd effectively have enough. I blame CJ. You would effectively have enough to complicate the next one's action by 1.
I'll take care of the one that's gnawing on me, and if I've got anything left over, do what I can elsewhere.
Excellent. You're down to 3 Zed in the back. One of them will suffer a complication 1 on its next action. That brings us back to Topher.
Oh, man. Okay, so if I make it back to the road, I have a question.
I have an answer.
So I continue to look for terrain and such, and I don't necessarily know that the giant multi-legged monster has successfully grabbed on to one of my crew.
That is correct.
But that's not going to stop me from looking for something with a low clearance.
Sure. You see a sign up ahead. If you really gun it, you can probably make it this turn. You see like a turnpike sign that's been bent and is all fucked up. So you're like, I bet you if I just go with that at the right angle, I can just scrape the roof.
Then I will get on the little radio with a mouthful of sandwich. Say, either get in or get down because it's about to get real low up there. And then I proceed to gun it toward the sign. So hopefully they see it coming.
Give me this. Give me that piloting roll. The impact will not take place until the beginning of your next turn.
Okay. Do we have momentum left? They might need it to dodge this. Well, I'm not going to ask for it.
If I'm not mistaken, all 3 of that momentum was spent by Darcy on the last roll.
Okay.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
Okay. We're doing okay here. So
Thank you very much, CJ. Appreciate it.
we have
Keep
seven
it
successes.
interesting, okay?
We have 7 successes, and I think if I'm using if I can, I don't know what this is going to be for. Like, is this an attack roll that I'm making?
Sure.
All right.
Kinda.
Sure.
Sort of.
So if I can, yeah, I'm just going to do everything I can to make sure that I don't care if I scrape the top of this thing. Like, I'm just going to do my best to make sure that what's on the top, much like sour cream, we're just going to scrape it off.
I understand completely. Hayden, what would you like to do? As you can clearly see, like if you'd imagine, you hear that come over the squawk box, kind of from below, right? Because you don't actually have a radio on you. And there's like a quick shot, like up to your eyes, and a quick shot over to like this low-hanging, sort of bent, rusty road sign that's just dangling. And you can real quick do like the math, and you're like, oh, that's going to hit us both, and the spider. What would you like to do?
Mechanically, is Darcy grappled by this thing?
Mechanically, Darcy is grappled by this thing.
Okay. Gonna try to tackle it away from Darcy.
I only need 3 successes to break her free.
This is a scale 2 creature, so there's not so much tackling it away from Darcy
Tackle the legs.
as there is like pulling Darcy out of its fangs.
Okay. Yeah, I will try to do that then. I was like, yeah, all right. I'm going to try and yank Darcy
All right.
away from the spider.
I'm going to give you a complication of 1. If you fail to resolve this complication, you are, and anyone you might happen to have a hold of, should you have broken them free of a grapple, for example, are going to fall off the back of this vehicle.
I'm not sure if that would be better or worse than remaining on the top of it.
Very good.
That being said, I'm going to use resolve and close combat.
May the odds be ever in your favor.
Thank you. Yep. Okay, I got 3 10s. All right.
Excellent. We are in business.
Let's see how we're doing.
Oh, yeah.
And another 10. I'm not joking. I love this. This makes me so happy. Okay.
I'm in good hands.
And a 9. We're at 6 successes. All right. 7 successes is hopefully, well, I know it's enough to get Darcy out of the.
You are able to pull Darcy free.
Yeah.
You deal Darcy no additional damage in the process, and you're able to sort of like roll both of you into the back of the vehicle, which I realize is a small consolation because it's full of zombies, but
Nope,
you're not.
I will take it.
But you're not.
That sounds great.
Yeah. Excellent.
So I yank Darcy out of the pincers of this rad spider and just yeet her into the back.
While it deals no additional damage, there is a kind of sound when the fang comes loose from Darcy, and what looks like about a gallon of cream cheese that has been left out of the fridge for about 4 or 5 days shoots
ruining my street
up
tacos.
out of sorry, my apologies. Shoots up about 10 feet in the air as you pull Darcy free.
Why don't you ask me for a drink first?
And the
Typical
two
arachnid.
and the two of you land not very gracefully on the inside of the back of the vehicle. As you notice, there are 3 Zed back there still, and none of them seem to even like turn their attention toward you. They have all now completely fixated on the package. Darcy, you have an action. What would you like to do?
Get away from that light, baby. And I'll use my bow and
Excellent.
try to shoot
Say
one.
the light, baby.
Go ahead and give me a firearms and whatever attribute you'd like to pair that with.
I probably should have put something in firearms, right? Typical Darcy. Oh, how about I like grab just like the arrow and then
Oh yeah, you
Just
can totally like
stab.
stab one in the
Yeah.
Just go
He's not-
full.
Would not be athletics? No.
I got athletics and dexterity or stamina.
It would be close combat to stab. Archery falls.
Oh.
I believe archery falls under firearms.
Hmm.
This was a skill.
Okay, let's do firearms and dexterity. Let's try to shoot it then. Let's go. One success.
Excellent. You shoot an arrow and it goes wide and sticks into the seat of the deployed machine gun. It does not hit. However, you gain a momentum. Congratulations.
Yay.
So you now have 1 momentum. Excellent. And that brings us to our villainous associates. All 3 of the Zed who are in back are going to pile on and start ripping at one of the containers. Okay. As they pile on, it looks like that scene in Dawn of the Dead where they grab a hold of the dude and pull him out the window and just open his torso and like guts start coming out and they're just really sort of disassembling that person.
Day of the Dead, choke on him. Choke on him.
Right, they kind of do the same thing to the package. They just rip the outside casing off of it and start pulling it. The various, like, you see the nutrient mulch pack get ripped open. One of the tentacles start getting like pulled. The zombies are just trying to take this thing apart and doing a pretty remarkable job of it. The rad spider on the roof turns around and like presses its face. Like you see it, both of its fangs are like dancing on the front windshield. I'm going to just see if it busts out the windshield real quick, if you don't mind.
We didn't earn this TPK.
It's not my fault.
Nobody said anything about a TPK. It's just complicating your day. That's all. Excellent. As the rad spider smashes against the windshield, it breaks out the side of the windshield that's on the driver's side and sort of spits some venom onto Topher. This venom doesn't seem to have any negative effect, at least not immediately. But almost the moment that occurs, the fangs shear off and land on the hood and roll off as the spider just splats on that sign.
Should have worn a helmet, fucker.
Topher, it is your action. What would you like to do?
I will whoop slightly, and then I guess I'll push the debris away, and now my sandwich is ruined.
Gonna pay for that.
I'll brush the fangs kind of onto the passenger side, and then I will get back on the radio while trying to wipe my face clean. I think the spider's gone. What's the situation in the back?
And that brings us over to I'm sorry, that brings us to Rev. What would you like to do?
Quote a 40K Space Marine.
This planet is murder.
All right. So great. Keep shooting at things. That's what I'm for.
All right. Let's do it. Go ahead and give me that firearms roll.
Please be good to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Excellent. With your 2 enhancement, you disintegrate the head of the first of the nearest Zed to you. Its head just pops like a water balloon.
Crave the red mist.
Spraying the inside and sort of landing its upper torso sort of starts to empty into the container where the package is being held as it falls forward onto the container.
Why not? Why
Yeah,
not?
just zombie ichor just sort of pouring out onto the package.
If that could be one of the ones that was going for the package.
I mean, all three of them are currently tearing at the package, so you took one down.
Okay.
That's the good news. That brings us around to Hayden. What would you like to do? There's still two tearing at the package.
I'm going to physically go for one of the zombies to get it off of the package. If I do really well, what Hayden would like to do is throw it off the back of the truck.
Excellent.
But we'll see.
Go for it.
All right. That is going to be close combat and might.
I'll allow it.
Oh, we've got 10s. We're in business. We've got 2 10s.
Excellent.
Let's see how we do with that. Okay, these are nope, and these. Nice. All right, 5 successes.
Excellent. So you grab one of the Zed kind of by like the waistband in the back of the neck and just no ticket them out the back window.
And we're full circle. Yes. Okay. Yeah, Hayden's just like, nope.
Excellent. That leaves us with one Zed and one player character with an action. So, Darcy, what would you like to do?
I guess I'll try to shoot my bow again, see if it works.
Excellent. I'm going to give you a +2 enhancement on this roll because the Zed is very distracted as it's trying to get. You notice it like shoves its buddy like out of its way. It's really like almost all the nutrient pack that was around the outside is ripped free now. It's really trying to get its hand on the glowing crystal that seems to be inside of like this clear, almost like amniotic sac that's in the middle of the box.
The light baby, no. I got 1 success.
Excellent. That gives you the 3 enhancement. You walk up and just like draw an arrow and place it against the zombie's temple and just like go.
And then pull back.
It goes in one temple, out the other. The Zed falls off and drops to the ground inert. The combat has ended. However, you can already see the glow is fading, and the tentacles that are attached to the 2 needles are sort of starting to flop around of their own volition.
We were given instructions on how to fix it should bad things happen, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, the instructions were to plug it into somebody.
Needs a live host.
Sit down.
Excellent. Would you like to make a medicine check, please?
Hayden, can you help me?
Yep.
I just kind of love the idea of you stabbing yourself in the arm and being like,
okay, all right.
Why did I do that?
Yeah, so that's gonna be medicine.
It still hurts. I thought I was supposed to go into shock, but it's not working. I just hurt. What's that from?
Okay, we're working with some 10s here. We're not totally effed. Rolled not the best for as many dice as I rolled, but there are 2 10s for me to roll, so it's also not the worst. There's another 10. We're doing okay, folks. Okay. Once again, because this seems to be the number of the night, 5 successes.
Excellent. You plug both ends into Rav, and the glow begins to increase. Rav, I need you to roll a integrity and your choice of resilience attribute, please. Darcy, you hear the again over the radio, like, what's going on back there? So if you would like to answer that while they're doing that, you may, or you can just not. It's up to you.
I'll say everything's under control. Smooth sailing from here.
5 successes. Excellent. As you plug in, you don't take any stress conditions.
Surprising.
You do,
I'm
however, feel like the perspective of like making eye contact with some sort of a being. You can definitely feel a presence there, and the presence seems warm and innocent, and almost like there's even like a love or a desire for empathic connection. And then you feel that presence sort of pulled away from you, or maybe perhaps you're pulled away from it through what almost appears to be kind of like a organic, almost mucusy sort of tube, as your senses snap back into your own body.
Okay.
Looking in the mirror and such that remains, what is the zombie horde situation? Is anything moving in my immediate vicinity?
Not in your immediate vicinity, no. You see what remains of the horde seems to be moving on. Continuing its trek. What's left continuing its trek northward.
And I'm going to slow to a stop, and then climb out and take stock of the damages.
As you step out, you can see the zombie goo and nutrient pack leaking down the back of your vehicle. As soon as you look in the back, you can clearly see one of the 4 packages has been shredded. And the 3 of them kind of huddled together.
Absolutely under control. I see nothing wrong here. Is that plugged into Rev? Rev, are you okay?
Where are they plugged in?
Technically, anywhere where there's a vein and artery network, where would you have aimed for, I guess, Hayden?
Arms.
Arms? All right. So
All right,
one in each arm or both in
got-
one arm?
You know,
Both in one arm.
if you've got good veins, if there's a problem, like we're gonna go, like central with this shit.
With your roll? Nah, you were just like, and just went.
If these things get pulled out, I'd like to survive it. So
you can survive with that. Yeah, that's doable.
You don't need 2 arms.
Yeah, they're plugged
But yeah,
into
no, you're IV
Rav's,
style.
yeah,
All right, let's see if we
Rav's
can
left arm.
see if
look back up while I'm one-handed reloading my rifle. Everything is people cobbler.
And the
Cobbler for people.
the glowing sort of sack is just sitting in Rav's lap as Rav's sitting on the floor, loading the weapon with one hand.
okay.
The other 3 packages seem to be fully intact.
Do I think that there's any way that stuff could be cobbled back together?
No, you're not sure that all of the box is still in the back of the vehicle. Like, it looks like significant portions of that one package were just chucked out the back.
I have a suggestion. If there's nothing else, maybe this is the first one we deliver. They should have the stuff to take care of it, right?
Either that or they keep Rev.
Oh, we can find a replacement. Not for Rav, for the food packet.
How long do we have before Rav's empty?
I'm right here.
Yeah, well, first off,
Okay,
what
how
I
empty do
meant
you
was
How empty do you feel?
what I meant was we can't replace you in our group, Rav. Second, I don't fucking know. How do you feel?
I feel like a baby of light's been plugged into my arm after we got attacked by a giant spider and a huge horde of zombies. And I keep feeling like I should have negotiated for better hazard pay because I am just so fucking done today.
Well, to be fair, I mean, I feel like this warrants a bonus considering you're being used as a nutrient packet. I just want to make sure that you can last until our first drop, which is how many hours away?
You're about an hour and a half from Philly at this point.
All right.
Stay
Live
back
for an
here
hour
with
and a
him.
half. Sit tight. Don't die on us.
I promise I'll do my best, boss.
Just scream every 10 minutes or so that we know you're still alive. Help
I'll
you.
sit back here with him.
Rav, you do notice there's plenty to eat back here.
Can I eat zombies?
Yeah.
I thought it said.
Damn.
I thought it said humans or
Does
raiders.
it have to be
only.
humans or raiders only?
I think it did.
In
yeah.
that case, there's not a lot to eat back here.
No.
I mean, there is
said,
still
so
plenty
much
to eat
meat
back
and
here,
nothing
but
to eat.
probably not so good for your interpersonal relations. Should you?
Yeah, I was really hoping for raiders and not zombies.
I got a bottle of hooch, and I'll offer him a shot.
All right.
Absolutely. Pour me one. When she pours it, I take the bottle.
I'll take the bottle back. What?
All right.
You don't
Is
want
that
this
gonna-
to be drunk and calm.
Is that gonna get the light baby drunk? Like I don't really,
I hope so.
I
and
hope
they're-
so too. Light baby.
You both know more about it than I do at this point, I guess.
I
so-
guarantee that's not true. Well, I'm gonna break into my in my gear. I have special rations listed.
Okay, excellent.
I reckon long pig makes a good jerky, so
Sure. Yeah, you just start chewing on some jerky.
I prefer fluid form, but any port in a storm.
So
I just need a shoulder to lean on. and
are
eat.
the two of you then are Darcy and Hayden staying in the back with Rav?
Hayden for sure is to monitor his condition.
Thanks, Doc.
Well, it's not the shittiest day I've ever had on the job, but you'll be glad to know it ranks.
How about Darcy? You gonna stay in back or you gonna hop in the cab?
Yeah, I guess I'll stay back here.
Excellent. Topher,
Make sure light baby's okay.
I assume
No, crew's got it under control. This is probably going to end up, costing us some of the contract, but you know what? Got to make the deliveries. So the mail stops for no one. I must suffer negative and positive reviews the same. So ever forward.
you hop in the car, hop on the road. You'll be pleased to hear that the remainder of the trip to Philadelphia is relatively uneventful.
Do I encounter any random passersby or potential I don't know.
Hey, kid, need a ride to Philly?
No, the road's pretty clear. The devastation from the tornado only proceeds for another couple miles. After that, it's pretty much open wasteland. Seems to be relatively smooth sailing, and we will wrap things up with you pulling up to the sort of ruins of Philadelphia, the skyline sort of in the background.
To quote Fallen London, hello, delicious friends.
That's what we'll call it for this night. So, any questions, comments, complaints, or concerns about tonight's events?
Quite a few concerns. It's a good game, but I have many concerns.
Excellent. We will get into some details about Rav's experience at the beginning of next session.
I'm the artificial liver for a psychic baby. I have feelings about this. I'm a cannibal dialysis machine. New band name, called it.
It is, in fact, a new band.
That is a good name. I love that.
So before we call a complete end to the evening's affairs, let's talk about experience points. So did any of you resolve any of your short-term aspirations?
I believe I showed off murderous skill with that first braca braca.
I would agree. You may
Definitely.
have a point. Hayden, you said you'd...
I think ripping Darcy out of the spider fangs and throwing her into the back constitutes as protecting someone.
I would agree. Yes, you may absolutely take an aspiration for that. Darcy, anything that you may have achieved?
I don't think so. Maybe build a bond with another character.
You have...
You took
Me
the
and
bottle
Hayden
back.
got extra close there one time.
You took the bottle back.
I
You
would...
took the bottle back.
I would say you could form a bond of friendship at level 1 with everyone that's here. So you'd be able to go ahead and take that, and everyone can record that they have a bond of 1 with one another. So you may absolutely take that short-term aspiration. Topher, short-term aspiration?
So I didn't make the first drop yet, but I would argue that I did get a hot meal, but it was involuntarily sprayed in my face by a spider.
I mean, you had a sandwich during a fight, which I guess is probably close enough, so I'll allow it.
Thank you.
Because
Can I
I'm feeling
make-
particularly
Can I make an argument for Bond 1 with Hayden as well? Because, definitely took the time to make sure I got plugged in right, and that means a lot.
Yeah, so you would all have like a level 1 bond with one another, cooperation bond. So there's technically 4 points in that bond. Each one of you has 1 point in that bond. Make sense?
Awesome. Thank you.
Excellent. So since all players achieved at least one of the short-term aspirations, it's another XP. So right now you're all at 2 XP. Did anyone achieve a long-term aspiration this session?
I don't think this qualifies as power or safety or food yet, so
None of those things have been achieved.
Well, you are power and food.
I'm gonna be.
Yeah, unless become power and food was part of your aspiration. Probably not.
Do I lose XP for getting the opposite of my aspiration?
No, nothing so punitive. All right, so no long terms as of yet. You did spend at least half the momentum pool in a single scene. In fact, you spent it all more than once, so you may have 1 XP for that. And you have reached a story milestone. You have made it to the first destination. So you may all have 1 XP for that.
Pay.
And that will conclude our story for today. So before we run away, I do want to remind everyone of a couple of things. First off, we are going to be hosting our Onyx Path game night last Friday of every month. This month is no different, and we are focusing things on Trinity Continuum, though any of our games are fair game. Details and information are being dropped in the chat. Also want to remind everyone that the Trinity Continuum backer kit is not yet live, but you can head over to the backer kit page and sign up for a notification as soon as it does go live for Trinity Continuum Player's Guide. Lots of cool stuff in there. I had the privilege of working on some of it. I'm very excited to start sharing details about what that is, but I can't tell you yet. If I do, Rich Thomas will appear behind me in a puff of smoke and just end me. Probably not, but I would get yelled at the very least. I would be in trouble. And
Just in a flash.
yeah, it would be bad news bears. So, however, if you want to get the good news directly from our glorious leader, you may head over to theonyxpath.com this Monday and every Monday for the Monday meeting notes. And I also, last but not least, want to make sure that you are all aware that we do have the OGL sale currently going on over at Indie Press Revolution for 50% off various traditional print books, including basically everything for Skylands 5e, Legend Lore, the first edition Pugmire books that remain. And in addition to those OGL titles, we also have Chronicles of Darkness, Dark Eras 2, and I believe Changeling the Lost on offer. So it's 50% off the traditional print, the same kind that you would get if you would back the Kickstarter. You won't beat that deal, I don't think, anywhere, so go run over and snatch that up while you have a chance. I have been Travis Legge. My pronouns are he and they, and it has been an honor and a pleasure to be your story guide. Before we run away, I will give everyone an opportunity to tell us who you are, what you do, who you're playing, your pronouns, their pronouns, anything you would like to promote, and we'll start it off this time with Kevin.
Oh, hi, everybody. I'm Kevin Zarnicki. He, him, playing Rav. He, him. They consume. I have been the heavy of the group, and apparently I'm also now the power and water company. You can find me at Necromancy 101 on Twitter. I teach, I voice act, I write, and a couple things I want to plug really quick that I don't profit by at all, but Humble Bundle has got like the whole classic 40K Dark Heresy Only War Black Crusade thing going on, which is pretty rad. They're hard to find now. And I just played a demo of a game called Fortune's Run, which give it a look on Steam. It's pretty cool. It's like what Daikatana should have been.
Excellent, excellent. Definitely always routinely, and if you've not yet done so, subscribe to their emails over at Humble Bundle. They always have great stuff going on for beautiful causes. So thank you very much for giving me an excuse to plug that. I
know it.
deeply appreciate it. And next up, Darcy, your pertinent details, please.
Hi, everyone. My name's Haley, also known as Babe_Blade666. I'm playing Darcy Dirtwater tonight, and she's a little impulsive. The group is now figuring out.
Just a scotch. Just a tad.
It's a little, but yeah, I enjoyed tonight's session. It's great.
Well, thank you for letting me
If you want to follow my Instagram, I have some cosplays and stuff that I like to do, and it's been real fun.
Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for letting me have a spider chew on your torso. It was good times.
Yeah.
And speaking of good times, Topher, your details, please.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Leco Rodriguez, teamleco.com. Happy to take any potential consults for free of your fitness and or nutrition needs. If you want to shed any excess weight or radioactive zombies or spiders that are clinging onto you, we can scrape them off. I have been playing Topher, the gopher of Green Gopher Dispatch and Delivery. We'll plow, we'll rub, we'll yeet Zed out your back door to get your package to West Philadelphia, born and raised to the beat of the rhythm of the night. It's been a great time.
Thank you. It is always a pleasure.
Can I just say that speed reading is like professional.
Yeah.
Top notch.
We have put Leco through his paces in a number of streams. I think the one that what did it the most was the Anima stream where I made him prepare like an entire speech.
Oh, the press conference. Right?
Yeah, I was like, "There's gonna be a press conference next session. What are you gonna do?"
Monologue.
And speaking of what are you going to do, keeping me on my toes, hopping all over the place. Hayden, please, your pertinent.
Hi, everybody. I've been playing Hayden Horn, they, them. I'm CJ Starry, also they, them. And you can find me everywhere on CJ Starry, except Instagram, which is cj.starry. So, can't wait for next week to see what happens. But I'm very glad that we all escaped without becoming Zed. So I think overall, we won.
I am very proud of you. Everyone, do please make sure that you have kept track of your injuries and maladies for next session, because those will not be resolved by the time that you arrive at the destination point.
You plugged into a pallet of Psyker Baby, dude.
Hey, Baxter. If you're watching us live and you haven't yet done so, please make sure you follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. Make sure you're getting your shots, washing your hands, all those fun things. Be a good steward of your body and your community. And we are going to just hang around for a moment. We're going to go head over to friend of the channel, Stolen Fires, who I have the privilege of playing with in the Scarred Lands, Frostlands of Fenric game, which will be returning on the 28th, the 29th. We had to miss last session because of like several players getting simultaneously ill in different parts of the country. But sometimes that happens. So we're going to go say hey to Rachel. Everybody show her some love when we go on the raid. And we will see you back here this time next week for more shenanigans. Bye, everybody.
Bye.